Oh, yeah. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Outside Looking In. My name is Bruce Negger, and we're talking about the issues that emanate from Montgomery County and beyond. How are you doing? I'm doing all right. It's Friday. That doesn't mean too much to me because I'm going to have a pressure-filled night. You know why? My kid has the ACT test tomorrow. So what does that mean for me? It means nothing for me. It means that I got to drive him there, but that's what I'm nervous about. We got to go out to Sterling, Virginia. I live in Montgomery County. I got to go out to Sterling, Virginia to take the ACT. About 55 minutes away. Got to get up, get the kid up. We're going to wake up with the chickens again. Going to wake up milking the cows and then getting in the car to go out there to get out there by 8 a.m. But nervous Nelly, you know, just in my personality. What did I do today? I drove out to the testing site just to make sure. No qualms, no ifs, no surprises. That's what I do. No surprises. And everyone's like, why are you so like this? Because I don't want any surprises. I want to know where I'm going tomorrow. I don't want to have if a wrong turn is made. I don't want to make any wrong turns. I don't want to do anything wrong. I want to get you to the test. And that way, once I dump you off, I can relax. Yes, it's about me. Ryan's ACT is about me. No, it's not. Hopefully he'll do well. We'll see what's going on. So what's up in your world? Guess what's up in our world? Inflation. Dun, dun, dun. That's right. Inflation is up again. We keep doing it. Even though we're told that inflation is not going up or things that have leveled off, and I've done the best job since any president since Roosevelt, inflation still keeps going up. And I don't care if it's Joe Biden's fault or not. I don't care anymore. He's presiding over it. And you know what? You know what I do care about? That he's telling me that inflation is not going up. It is. It is. Everywhere we go. Gas prices. Are you out of your mind with gas prices? Seriously, they jumped like 35 cents in the last 3 weeks. 4 weeks. You know, $3.70 now. Even at the cheap places. I was up at Sheetz. You know, my 5-cent reward. Didn't do any. My goodness, did you hear my voice crack there? I sounded like Bobby Brady when it's time to change. It's time to rearrange. I'm 56 years old. That's not supposed to be happening. Played hockey last night, so I was yelling and screaming. Come on. The only people that I didn't scream at was the refs. The refs actually treated me nicely. Jason treated me very nicely last night. I took a tumble, skating backwards, got my skate caught in the rut, turned over, right onto my back and onto my head. Da-doing. I was lucky, though. I didn't see stars. I don't get stars. If I get a blow to the head, things turn purple for me. Nothing turned purple, so I was all right. Neck hurts today. It sucks, but I'm doing okay. I don't have any. I'm not acting any worse or any stranger than I do on a normal day, so that's good news. Good news. Speaking about inflation, though, it's a whole different story on this one. I was going through. Obviously, you know, I was talking about the ACTs. My kid's looking at colleges now, so I'm starting to get acclimated to this, indoctrinated more so. But the situation here is, you know, your colleges, you look at it, you try to figure out the pricing, you try to figure out what's economical, what's good college, what's a good price, etc. So you figure it all out, and you know what's going on. There's an article in the New York Times yesterday, or this week, and it says, students may be paying $100,000 a year for college. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. That's just crazy. Go into the article. I can't get into the New York Times. I told you I boycott the Times, but I can still get their newsletters. I can't get into the full article, but there's a little caption there. It goes, people at Vanderbilt University. People at Vanderbilt University. It's close to 100,000. It's 98,652 or something. But this includes all the room and board and all of that kind of stuff and tuition and the supercomputer they might need as an engineering student. You know what? Hold up, time out, wait a second. $98,000 for education. And it's going to be a good one. I mean, I can't malign Vanderbilt University. I just can't. I went there. I went there back in the day when I was geographically desirable. They got everybody from New York now. When I went there, nobody was from New York. It was me and Adam Karp and a couple other guys from Mount Vernon. Really, I mean, they must have just swooped in and said, we're going to take guys from New Rochelle and Mount Vernon, 2 towns that border each other. We got our quota. We're going. See you. Bye-bye. But I'll tell you, $100,000 for college? Are you out of your mind? For 4 years? You're better off getting someone a college education or letting them buy a house. You know, I mean, it's just, college, pretty soon, seriously, we talk about it all the time. And there was another article in the Wall Street Journal how Gen X now, or Gen Z, is starting to think about going to trade schools because they can get into the workforce right away and they can start making some money and start making some good money. All these people who ever look down on the plumber or the contractor or anything, I mean, you're a schmuck if you've ever done that. Oh, he's the plumber. Oh, he's the electrician. Stuff that you can't even do. And on top of that, especially back like in 2007 at the peak of the housing boom, everybody was buying houses and, whoa, it's undervalued. Undervalued. It's six figures. It's $600,000, $700,000, if not more, in the Westchester area. But it's undervalued. It's a great deal. We'll just get someone to fix it, to clean it up and come in and we'll get a contractor. In 2007, you couldn't find a contractor. And all these people who look down on them, if you got some skills, if you're an electrician or a plumber or something and you can put something together, you could create your own company after a while. Once you get your skills, you can become the contractor. As long as you know how to invoice and bill, you can do it. And you can do it all night. But anyway, you can do it. And it becomes, the people who are laughing at you, you'll have the same seat at the country club as they do. And that's the thing, man. I mean, everybody's like, your white collar nonsense. And that's what it is, most of this stuff. It's nonsense. I'm bashing against myself. I'm in sales. I mean, what do? Did I need a college education for what I do? Not at all. Do I have a college education for other things? Just for cultural? College for me was more of a cultural thing than an educational thing. I didn't do poorly in college, but I sure as heck didn't excel. I'll tell you one thing about Vanderbilt. They did not have easy classes. Everyone's like, oh, that was an easy A. I'm still searching for the easy A at Vanderbilt. There was nothing easy about any class I took there. And it wasn't a mental thing. It wasn't a mental capacity or an intelligence thing. It was just hard. And the thing I'll never understand about colleges is like, why give a test if the highest score is going to be a 37? Oh, we put it on the bell curve. What's the point? If someone just gets a 37, but we put it on the curve and that's actually an A, what's the point of that? I never understood that. Just don't make the test that hard. I mean, if you can only get 37% of it right, but you still get an A, what the heck are you doing? Someone has to explain that to me. I failed the statistics class. No, I didn't. Stop it. I did not. So don't even pretend. I did not. I was a history major, right? But I'm selling Z cards. I'm selling folded paper with 2 hard outer cards, and it's a great thing to have if you need something for a lot of space, a lot of information. I blew my whole elevator pitch on my own show. I wasn't prepared. I failed. You're fired. You're fired, Bruce. You're fired. But anyway, school for me, I met people from Louisiana. I met people from Mississippi, from Kentucky, from Alabama. I was a New Yorker through and through. You've heard this story ad infinitum. But it opened up my world to open up to a much greater United States, to realize that people with accents actually were smart. Smarter than me in most cases, in some cases. But I have a friend, right? I have a friend who went to school, wanted to be a doctor. Biomedical engineering, organic chemistry, everything. Doctor. This is what it tells you about school and just regular intelligence. He gets to the MCATs. He blows it. Blows the MCATs. Inconsolable. The guy was inconsolable. So what does he do? Like 2 weeks later, takes the LSAT, passes it with flying colors, gets into law school as a successful lawyer. That's what I'm talking about with college, man. And the way that people pick tracks so early now, that's what I don't understand. There's a whole plethora of people out there. It's like, I'm on this track, I'm on that track. I need to know that I'm going to be an engineer from day one. Yeah, there are people like that. But there are also a large amount of people who aren't sure why they're in college yet. I think I like this. I think I like that. Let them pick their majors a year into school, 2 years into school, like it used to be, instead of going into school and saying, this is my major. Because I know more kids now who just finished their freshman year, who've dropped out of their college, not out of the school, but dropped out of the college they were in at the university and are taking a new major. So a year not wasted, but a year sort of wasted. And I mean, it's money. It counts. It's on the clock. But Vanderbilt University, they sent us something, and it's funny. I'm partial to it because I went there. I would love for my kid to go to Nashville and Vanderbilt. We'd have something to talk about, something in common, a stronger bond. That would be great. $100,000 a year, forget about it. Seriously, forget about it. I was like, Ryan, don't even look at it. And then we get something from Vandy, and I think I told you about this a couple weeks ago, too. It was a postcard. Do not discount or do not count out Vanderbilt just because of the price. So you turn it over, and it says $68,000 with aid. So, I mean, I got to qualify for $32,000 worth of aid? And they say, well, most kids at Vanderbilt do get aid. Well, who's the poor schmuck paying $100,000? Who's the one? I mean, somebody's paying $98,000. Who's the one? And why do they feel good about it? What Texas oilman needs to have his kid go to Vanderbilt? As a status symbol, right? As a status symbol. At least it's a cool, very cool town. At least the school is like in the top 15 educationally. At least it has that kind of stuff. It's unlike Lori Loughlin and her daughter there, Jade, trying to get into USC. I don't know a damn thing about USC. All I know, I've seen it. I'm not sure I really liked it, but this was years and years ago. And was it worth the daughter going to USC or going to jail and paying $500,000 for her to get a USC education or to get into USC? The girl was making $1 million, $2 million on YouTube. What are you doing? Why are you getting into college? College is necessary for a lot of people. Don't get me wrong on this. And education, it can't hurt, and it does help, especially when you figure out what you want to do and specialize. But college, I mean, it shouldn't put you under. And the colleges better start getting smart about it. I mean, what's really happening now, and it's funny to me because, I was in the SEC before anybody outside of the South knew what the SEC was, before ESPN picked it up, before CBS picked it up. It was always good football, et cetera, so forth. But now with the playoffs, et cetera. But that's what people were picking their schools on because of Georgia Bulldogs, Ole Miss Rebs. Ole Miss, the only two losses they had were to Georgia and Alabama. So they're on the precipice of being a good football squad. So Ole Miss is going to be discovered. Alabama. Oh, I want to go to Alabama. Why? Why does someone from Maryland want to go to Alabama? And you're going to say, well, Bruce, you thinking about sending your kid down south somewhere? Well, I know why. For the experience. Not for football. Not for basketball. But for the experience of living with someone who's not like him. There aren't 100,000 Ryans running around. He'd be the oddball, but I think he would really enjoy it if he went down south and met different people because he's getting this. It's funny. I was so New York centric that I was on an airplane. The first time I was on an airplane, I was 18 years old. We took the Eastern Airlines shuttle from LaGuardia to Dulles, not to Dulles, to Reagan. I drove by the White House, the most disappointing building I've ever seen in my life. The biggest disappointment that I've ever had in my life was driving by the White House. My dad and I got into the rent-a-car. We're on Pennsylvania Avenue, and I'm like, I'm going to see the White House. I'm going to see the White House. We go right through the city, past the White House. I'm like, Dad, I think that was the White House. And I'm craning my neck, and he goes, yeah, that was the White House. I'm pretty sure it was. I always thought the White House was on a rolling hill. I thought it was like Arlington, Robert E. Lee's old home. I mean, I thought it was up on the hill, and the way the reporters shot it and where they had their cameras and all of that kind of stuff, I was never so disappointed. I thought it was on a rolling, this great city, the great White House on the hill. I was wrong. Wrong. But that's what I'm talking about, narrow-mindedness, not going out there and seeing things, experience. To me, college was about experience, and I really gained it. New York is my home, but I'm happy to live pretty much anywhere this side of the Mississippi. The West really hasn't dug in with me. I've been out to California, I've been other places. It's just, I'm not ready for that kind of lifestyle change. I'm just not. I'm not. So the other day, this was yesterday, I went to Chase Bank. My dad has accounts at Chase Bank. As you know, my dad passed. Went to Chase Bank. It's been 27 days and counting since they put a hold on my dad's account, and then we're trying to get it into an estate account. 27 days. I went away on vacation. The guy says, I'll call you. We'll get this done. I'll call you, get it done. Went away on vacation. That was, I guess, 8-10 days. And then another 5 days when I've been home. So we're at the 27 days. I walk into the damn branch yesterday, and the guy is trying to give me the glad hand. Oh, hey, it's good to see you again. I'm like, the point is you shouldn't be seeing me again. Why are we seeing each other anymore? I said, you were supposed to give me a call. Oh, yeah, well, they've been giving me the runaround. The back office at Chase is not that good. Not that good? Hey, we're talking about somewhat of a pittance here. A pittance. There's nothing to be like, wonderful, this is going to be life-changing anything to put into an estate. If you can't handle an estate, how are you handling any other banking? I was nice. I really was nice. But after a while, the guy's like, so what's your plans for the weekend? My plans for the weekend is to tell you to shut the hell up and do your freaking job. I didn't say that kind of stuff, but I did not let on. My brother says sometimes when I get mad, I have a face, and I know exactly what he's talking about. I bite the back of my teeth, I clench my jaw, and I'm just looking. I'm like angry. And I speak, I like Clint Eastwood. You feel lucky, punk? It's almost like that. But this guy's trying to be my friend. I'm like, I don't want to be a friend. I want you to be my banker. We're past the formalities. We're past the niceties now. Now I'm just pissed off. So he goes, so this is what he tells me yesterday. He goes, oh, Bruce, I'll give you a call today and I'll let you know what's going on. And then he goes, we should have it done by Friday or Monday. Oh, so it goes from today to Friday to Monday. So I was thinking about stopping in there today. I asked Gina about it. She goes, no, go back on Monday. So I'm still waiting for that phone call from Thursday, or the phone call from Friday. I'm going to show back up there Monday. And guess what? I'm going to show up every stinking day until I get the damn thing done. I don't want to be the pain in the neck. I don't want to be the fly in the ointment. But if that's what it takes, it's what it takes. And, there's no one who can hold a grudge better than I can. I really do hold the grudges. And the best part about it, I don't have to tell anybody about it. This one I'm telling you about, I don't know why. I don't know how. I'm not saying don't bank at Chase. But I would think about it now. At least the branch is outside of New York City or out of the New York area. And he kept telling me, are you going to keep the estate here? It's like, I'd like to. But you're why? Why would I want to? And so, what the funny part about this, and you're like, Bruce, you might be overreacting. It might really be a back office issue, etc. Yeah, I hear you. But there was a Capital One next door. And there was something like $50 in that account. And I'm like, let me just close it out, put it into the estate or whatever, close it out, do what I got to do. I sat down in Capital One for 32 minutes. She filled out all the paperwork. I got an email that day saying, just click here, sign this, be done. I was out. And they're not going to drag me back in. Capital One did it in one day. One day. Chase has taken 27. And if I was really the bad guy, I'd start naming names and stuff like that. I'll tell you the branch. The branch is up on, off of Father Hurley, up on 355. Well, you people in Westchester are like, what? Father Hurley, 355? What does that mean? But it's just annoying. So I get out of that place, and I'm still gritting my teeth. So it's lunchtime, and I don't normally get lunch. I told you I'm stuck in the house all the time, and I'm eating like a piece of cheese, a cracker, and some ham from Costco. That's lunch every day. A little bit boring. That's the problem about not working in an office anymore. I don't want the commute either, but I would love to have a place up in the Kentlands or somewhere 10 minutes away from my house where I could go and see people and be able to get home quickly. I don't want the commute, but I do not mind the office. And anybody who says working from home is the greatest, it gets pretty boring after a while. You talk about lessons in self-motivation. That's what I'm doing every day. It's like, come on, you got to do it. Who are you in the competition with, Bruce? You're in the competition with yourself. Hit your belly. Do another one, Rock. Come on. He's hooking. Damn, Rock. Tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. That's a Rocky 3 reference. That's Apollo hitting him, and Rocky just didn't have it in him anymore. So anyway, I'm sitting next to a funny part about that, 80s movie reference. I'm sitting next to a guy yesterday in the hockey locker room. He's not normally on our team. This guy, Chris, well, I think it was, I'm not sure who it was, but he's not normally on our team. But he's just spitting out references under his breath kind of thing from Stripes and then from Beverly Hills Cop. And I'm like, dude, I understand everything you're saying. It was making me laugh. It's very rare that I run into someone like that who has like reference points like that. So anyway, I get out of there. I'm going for lunch. I said, let me go to Jersey Mike's. I don't feel like getting a fat sandwich, even though I like Jersey Mike's. I don't want to do it. So let me try something different. I'll go to Panera Bread Company. I'll go there. Go to Panera in the Kentlands. This is one of these things. This reminds me of like Saxon Woods Golf Course in Westchester. They used to be able to get everybody off the first tee on time and then you get around the bend and you see all the people waiting to get off the second tee. You get on, my tee time's 12:15 at Saxon Woods. Oh, we're teeing off at 12:15. Finish up, get around the corner. Womp, 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 womp. That's right, sad trombone. Because now you see four foursomes backed up. It's going to be a 6-hour day. Love golf. But anyway, at Panera, I order, no problems. $11 sandwich. I was like, $11 sandwich. What can I do? What can I do? And I said, let me get a soda with that, a drink as well. So $11. I'm like, okay. Check comes back, 14 something or $15. I'm like, holy smokes. I know I just paid $11 for a sandwich. How much is this soda? The soda was $3.09. I know it's always refillable. That's wonderful. But they're charging you for 2 sodas. Soda, $3.09. It's the sandwich was the sandwich. It was a little bit flimsy. I'm not going to lie to you. It was a little bit flimsy. I got the Italiano. Hey. But, Jersey Mike's would have been a better deal. Would have been a better situation for me in terms of value. But $3.09 for a soda. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. I mean, it was just like one of those things. I should have just asked for a cup of water. It's like, can I have some gruel and a cup of water, please? But I was sitting there, and the thing was, it's another place that, you're able to order, and then you're backed up. Because all these places are freaking distribution centers now, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. The people who come into your store should be the ones who are taken care of first, not someone who sat on the desk and typed in an order on the app. I mean, I guess the app now, because they have the credit card and they have the guaranteed money, I don't even know what's going on. Chick-fil-A makes you put money on your card, but all the other ones just link up to the card. So I don't understand why the app is such a great value. Someone needs to explain that to me, what the great value of having an app on the phone is. I mean, I don't get it. But the people who come into your store should be first. There was a place I used to work at in Waikiki. It was Poultry Time, right? Poultry Time. So this is the place where you got fried chicken, you got Jewish food, you got all this stuff. Everybody loved it. Poultry Time fried chicken, thank you, was the best. It was the best. Kosher chicken made by Haitians. They went through the kosher process, but it was made by Haitians. But anyway, I'm working there, and all these people would come up, and this place was old school. They didn't even, the guy was cheap enough. This guy, Milty, who ran the place, was so cheap that he wouldn't even get an adding machine. People would order like 15 things, so you got to write it down on the bag. Get your brown bag out, you have your pencil, and I'm doing this. It's like, what do you have? What do you have? I want the kasha. I want the bow ties with the liverwurst. That's what everybody sounded like when they ordered it. I want 14 pieces of fried chicken, and I want that cucumber salad. All right. So I'm writing it down, and everything was like odd pricing. It wasn't $1. It was, or even $1.50. Some stuff, because you had to weigh it. Comes up $1.31, $1.37, $2.51. So you got to put all this stuff down. And some people have like 15 items. And I'm sorry, I'm pretty good at math, and I can add. But seriously, after a while, it's just like 15 items. I got to carry the one, go over to the two, this, that. Milty, just buy a freaking adding machine, please. I mean, it's just, there's certain things that you look at. I mean, I'm 15, 17 years old working in this place, however old. But I was like, Milty, buy an adding machine. You know how much quicker things will be? And I mean, you got deli help back here. You got deli help. We're trying to run around and we're not really interested in the math. You're probably losing money because we're adding up wrong. And it would be just quicker. But anyway, the point was, I'm serving a customer who walked into the store, and Milty used to sit on this little platform up top looking over the whole place. All you could see was like hair and glasses. Like, wow, what are you doing down there? Anyway, I'm talking to this lady, and she's like, I'll have this, I'll have that. I want the card. Okay, yes, ma'am. And the phone's ringing. And I'm like, he's up there, right? And the phone's ringing. So am I supposed to stop what I'm doing with this lady in front of me, who's actually in the store, to pick up the phone to say, hey, and because it's an order? So someone should be manning the phone while someone else is. It's like, It's just one of those things. I just think the one-on-one, everybody wants distribution and all this kind of stuff. So the point being, at Panera, I'm sitting there for like 15 minutes waiting for a sandwich. And you should have seen my face. I mean, I was embarrassed for myself because I just couldn't hold it in. After going to Chase and after waiting for a sandwich and after realizing that I just spent $3.09 on a soda, I looked like Schleprock. My face was like, I mean, it was embarrassing for me. I just couldn't control my emotions. I was sitting there like either angry or I looked like Droopy Dog. Seriously. It was just ridiculous. Schleprock. The only good thing about Panera to me yesterday was Starry Soda. I don't know if Pepsi puts this out, but it's like, I think I mentioned this before, but it's almost like a 7-Up, but it's just much more refreshing than a 7-Up. It's more bubbly, just like my personality. And it's just good. I like it, and I like it a lot. So that's my Panera story. So then I come out of Panera, and it's like a soaking rain. And then depression set in. So I didn't think I'd have much to talk about in this program, and I went off on a bunch of tangents. But I got a couple topics to talk about still. What I do here is I just bullet point some things, and then everything comes from the top of the dome. It's just off the top of the head. There's no other points. It's just topics I want to get to. I don't have anything on the wall of annoyance. Let me just put Panera was the annoyance yesterday. Chase Bank is the annoyance. Having to wait and wait and wait. I can't wait to go back on Monday. Now, this guy, Chase Bank, I told you I hold a grudge, right? I'm going right back into it. Chase Bank has turned me into the bad guy. And I'm going to relish that role because I'm going to be there every day. I am going to inconvenience myself just to inconvenience them. I'm going to be there when they open. It's 9 a.m. Hey, Bruce is here. Get the damn thing into an estate account now. Hey, Bruce is here. I'll call you later, Bruce. Okay. How about you don't call me? How about you just tap me on the shoulder because I'm going to set up my computer in your little waiting area, have all your damn coffee, and eat your damn lollipops. That's what I'm going to do. I might even order lunch here from Panera on the app. So I was just thinking the other day about crime, right? There's now, there are these driving circles or something. We were down in Georgia and in Peachtree Street somewhere, a big group of kids got together. I don't know if they're kids, adolescents. Could be anywhere from under 30. Those are kids now to me. They got into a big, furious, Fast and the Furious thing. They're just doing donuts in the middle of an intersection and the police come and they have to break it up and it's cars getting chased this way, that way, and the other way. So something happens out in Virginia, and there's only one lady cop out there, and she started getting harassed. So some other cops come, and it's like 6 or 7 cops, and, the guys are outnumbered. The cops are outnumbered, and they can't start shooting, and they can't start tasering 50 people, 60 people, 70 people in cars. I mean, some guy pulls out a gun, and he's riding out of the window. I mean, could have gotten shot there, and guess who gets in trouble there? The police do. But it's just one of these situations where they're outmanned, outgunned, out everything. And I was thinking about it, and it's like, my son was talking about Batman the other day, and we're talking about Bane and Gotham City. Why would anybody live in Gotham City? And you know what's going to happen here? It's exactly like that. And I talked to my brother about this a lot. And I say, Eric, and he agrees too. He talks about it too. But it's like Gotham City. It's like Batman versus Bane. There's going to be a brawl between the police and the punks to get control again. And that's the reason when the people don't enforce the laws or let the laws lapse and empower the bad element. And then, what is that? Is that a code word for something? No, it's a code word for the bad element. The people will knock you in the head. I don't care what color you are. I don't want to get knocked in the head. You're a bad dude, a bad person. If your intent is to menace. But that's what happened. You protect the menacing people, and now the police, it's really going to have to be a control fight. They're going to have to fight again. And it's going to be that brawl where Batman's leading all the police and all the Gotham City people, and Bane's leading all the bad guys he let out of Arkham. Yeah, I am referencing a comic book movie because that's pretty much how close it's going to be. That's, in my mind, how it's going to be. I might be wrong, but how are we going to get it back? You're going to have to draw the hard line, and people are going to hate it, but at least we might get some law and order back. And seriously, I'm not one of these prosecute everybody, throw away the key. I'm not one of those. But if there are no consequences, then I'll do the crime. If you're not going to punish me, then isn't that the basic lesson of kids and parenting? But that's exactly the basic lesson, and it's gone, and that's why we're having all of this again. Chickens came home to roost, man. Enough of that. So I'm reading the scariest book I've ever read. It's called The War Below: Lithium, Copper, and the Global Battle to Power Our Lives. It's by Ernest Scheider. He was a columnist out of Houston, and he did some books or articles, etc., about gas and oil companies, and then he moved over here. And what's scary, I'm only like 40 pages into this book, and I didn't think it was going to be interesting. It was like one of those books I saw in the Wall Street Journal, and I said, I'll pick it up. I'm get a little educated about what's going on with the EVs and all of this kind of stuff and what it really takes to create it. But what scares me about this stuff, he writes the book very well, by the way. It's not something, it's almost like The Big Short, where you're learning about something, but it's written in a way that it's not a textbook. It is a reading book. Something that you can enjoy. But it's scary. It really is scary because what we're doing with this EV stuff, no one thinks to the future. Everybody thinks, oh, here's the solution to fossil fuels, which it probably is. But there's a whole slew of different stuff. Do you know what goes into a lithium battery? There's lithium, nickel, manganese, cobalt, aluminum, and there's about a mile of copper wire inside a Tesla. I'm saying this from the book, all right? This is me repeating the book. Lithium, nickel, manganese, cobalt, aluminum, and a mile of copper wire to conduct it inside. Where are we getting this stuff? You got to mine for it. Does anybody want to mine near the house? Not in my backyard. I don't want anything like that. We're going to upset tribal lands. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Yeah, I hear you. I'm not a big fan of mining either because I think it contaminates things. I think it contaminates water. Water is my issue. I don't want to contaminate water, drinking water. I think people go to war over that. That's for sure. But the whole thing about the EV and this is a cleaner way. It's a new way. And it's funny because, and again, I'm coming down on Joe Biden on this one, but they're talking about Joe Biden is banning mines in a certain area, and then has his defense lawyers, has the Defense Department or the Judicial Department arguing, or the EPA arguing to open them up. So the government is fighting itself. There's no clear plan, and no one's really thought about this. And there's no way the United States is going to run out of nickel, according to this book. We're going to run out of nickel. What does that mean? I guess it means something to the batteries, right? I don't really know. I haven't looked at the scientific stuff yet, and I haven't really broken it down or finished the book. But when I do, I'll have a better idea. But no one thinks about the future. And what I mean by that, we're going down the same path. What are the dangers of the EV movement? The strip mining, the blowing up of the earth, the sludge. It takes a ton of water to mine, from what I understand as well. I'll tell you, in 40 pages, I know everything now, right? But there's just environmental hazards due to this as well. And not only the fact that, talk about foreign policy, the United States gets out of Afghanistan. Afghanistan has rare earth metals. So what happens? China comes in right through the back door the day we get out of Kabul on the airplanes. China comes in and starts buying up everything because the Taliban needed money. It's one of these things. It's like if the devil will deal with the devil. It doesn't matter. The devil will deal with the devil. So yeah, we'll prop up the Taliban, human rights, this, that, and everybody wants to be in a Paris Accord with the Chinese that are not in it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting tongue tied on this kind of stuff. But no one thinks about the future. We legalize marijuana, and I'm telling you, I'm going to say this pretty much every 3 weeks. Can't wait to see the lung cancer studies that are going to come out. I can't wait to see the medical bills that are going to come out. We eradicated smoking, right? The big tobacco, bad people. They make you eat tobacco. They make you smoke tobacco, big tobacco. Yeah, they were bad. And people went after them. And they finally put on warning labels and all this kind of stuff. Where are the warning labels on any of this marijuana stuff? And I'm not even talking about getting high or that. It's a different issue. It's a different medical issue. I mean, you're smoking raw smoke is going into your lungs. Unfiltered smoke now is going into your lungs. That's a good thing. That's smart. I like it. But it's just between the EV, we don't have enough power plants. We don't have enough power, but we're all going to be, carbon neutral by 2050. How? We can't even process half the stuff, the rare earths that come out. We don't have the processing plants here. And again, in this book, in the first 40 pages, there was that documentary years ago, who killed the electric car. And it was funny. Nobody killed it. They just couldn't get the materials and process it. It became too expensive. The people making money off of the EV electric vehicles and the batteries are the people who own the mines, not the people who are making the cars. Again, I feel like the kid from Good Will Hunting. I feel like the Bond guy. Well, Keats said. I mean, everything I'm regurgitating what the book is telling me. I know. I have a lawyer friend who's very into this. This is actually his job. He can tell me what's going on. But I don't think I'm too far off on this. I don't know. So on the lighter note, Shinola, 36 minutes. I had nothing to say this week. On the lighter note, have you ever been to Buc-ee's? Finally made it to a Buc-ee's. What is Buc-ee's? It's like a Walmart with 106 gas pumps. It's better than Walmart, though, because they have like their brands. I mean, it's a store. You can buy Dr. Pepper slushies. You could get homemade chocolate almonds. You could buy a cooler. You could buy Buc-ee's stuff, barbecue, whatever. Anything and everything. I had some friends who I saw in Florida about 2 years ago, college friends, went down there and they came with all their Buc-ee's stuff. Everybody stopped at Buc-ee's. So I was like, this is a curiosity that I have to do. We were driving down 75 to Florida from out of Georgia, and it took us around Macon, but we ended up in Warner Robins, and that's where the Buc-ee's was. We had half a tank of gas, didn't really need to stop, but I'm like, Gina, I got to go to Buc-ee's. I got to see it. Got to see it. And we saw it. And I'll never have to see it again. Right. Curiosity satisfied. I'm done. It's on the list. Check it off. We're good. I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. But we came back to a Buc-ee's on the way home. The good thing about Buc-ee's is the gas was cheap. Cheap. I mean, $3.03 in a land of $3.67. How are they doing it? Because you're going in there and buying their fried chicken that's overpriced. Buying something that's overpriced. But we went back on Easter Sunday. We were driving on Easter Sunday. And, being in the South on Easter Sunday, it's like you might as well, I hope you packed a picnic lunch, because nothing was open. Buc-ee's is never closed, but nothing else was open. Zaxby's was closed. All this other stuff was closed. The one McDonald's that was open had people like crawling on the roof trying to find a crumb. They ran out of food. And that would be the one time I say, I can understand, all right. I know you're McDonald's. How do you run out of food? I can understand it on that one thing. Everybody ordering on the app. Wait. So my wife is driving up to New Jersey or to New York, and Buc-ee's has a sign on the Jersey Turnpike. So they might be coming, but it was very funny. It says, "You turn here, Buc-ee's 593 miles the other way." Da-doom, psh, and that's a show. It's a show about nothing. Exactly. My show is about nothing. But the program is called Outside Looking In. My name is Bruce Negrin. I like to do this every Friday. Now I got to walk the dog. He's been scratching at me, so I'll get Biscuit out now. So it's here, the show. Listen. You don't have to like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, do all of that kind of stuff. Outside Looking In with Bruce Negrin. And who should we play? We're going to play What Up Cuz featuring Eric Negrin. Your silence is a deafening sound. Take me out, Eric.